Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः Sthirairangayistuštuvagam Sastanubhiः Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuः Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravah Swasti nः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ. Yeah. Dear devotees, if you remember two shlokas from the Prashna Upanishad we had discussed. Recently, one of the young chap was a devotee and as well as a volunteer. He was asking as a doubt, as a question. He was saying, Swamiji, when we hear your Vedantic talks or the Vedantic talks of some other good teachers, Vedantic teachers or the monks, we all feel, yes, it is right. And we all feel, yes, it is true also. And we think, yes, we should hold on to the truth. And we are the experiencer and not neither the experienced nor the experienced. Means I am the Atman or Brahman consciousness, and I should not get perturbed by the world or by the situations or by the people or by the reactions and etc. After hearing lecture, it stays for some more time. Then a phone call or a situation or a person meeting with a person, it disturbs. It creates the similar disturbances which was done earlier also, which used to be done. Then why should I study Vedanta? Or why should I attend your class or any other Vedanta class or Upanishadic class? This is the question, very practical question, which was asked by a volunteer young chap. I said, yes, it's a very practical and pragmatic question, I say. Then the answer which I remember is, or which I said to him is, why? Because the knowledge has not become the part and parcel of our life. I will give a simple example. When someone says for a male, so are you a male? He said, yes. Then other says, oh, my dear, I think I have got some doubt. I've got some question, I've got some doubt. Immediately we react. Why? Because I'm very sure about my gender. Similarly with the female, that's the one thing. And the other thing, whichever I feel it is very right, very true, or it is for certainty, no one can shake me easily. No one can draw me or pull me out from that so easily. And in the Vedantic knowledge, which is the self-knowledge, but unfortunately, because of the ignorance or because of the wrong perceptions, our Vedantic knowledge is not ascertained, not confirmed, not convinced properly. That is at the intellectual level. And apart from that, that has not become the part and parcel of our life. That has not become the part of our experience in our day-to-day life. That's where our understanding and our action is getting not tallied. That's the one aspect. The other aspect is that is because of the lack of sadhana chatushtaya sampannata. Lack of control of mind, lack of control of sense organs, or in a simple way or in a psychological language, if you want me to say, that is untamed mind, untamed intellect, untamed emotions, or untamed personality all put together. Because of that, though we know what is right and what is wrong, what is eternal and what is ephemeral, and what is the highest truth and what is the lower truth, what is the real bliss and what is temporary happiness or sense gratification. We all know that, but still we are not able to hold on to it. Why? Because we don't have a tamed personality, controlled mind, controlled sense organs. That's the one thing. And the intense desire for liberation or God realization or for that unalloyed bliss, Atmananda, we don't have. There's a, I mean, it may be very exaggerated story. It looks like that, but it is a fact. In Advaita Vedanta, there are three schools. One is Vivarana, the other is Vartika, the third is Bhamati. Three schools of Advaita Vedanta. Now, this Bhamati Prasthana, Bhamati school of Advaita Vedanta has been propounded by Vachaspati Mishra. He's a great scholar, great philosopher. So there is a saying that just like there is no leaf or a green which is not eaten by goat, so similarly, there is no philosophy which is untouched by Vachaspati Mishra. So he is the master of all the schools of philosophy which was existing during his time. And Vachaspati Mishra, he went to school, means Gurukula. He had his schooling and he came back maybe at the age of 22, 23. And after Samavartana, that is, valedictory function, he came out from the school and he came back to his house and he was married. Okay. Then he was pursuing his education, pursuing his knowledge, acquiring, he continued. One fine day, he was writing Tika. For example, logical treatise is called Brahma Sutra, which is written by Badarayana or Vyasa. This is the logical treatise for that is called Brahma Sutras. For that, Adi Shankaracharya has written a commentary so that we can understand, because the sutras will be like a formulas in a capsule form. So explanation has been given by Adi Shankaracharya. With that explanation itself, the book is a small pillow like we can use as a pillow. Now, Vachaspati Mishra has given a glossary for the Adi Shankaracharya's commentary. You can imagine how voluminous book it is. So in those days, if you remember a few hundred years before, he was using a desk. He was squatting on the mat, and he had a desk, and he had a palm leaves, and he's writing that Bhamati, that is a tika for the Shankaracharya's commentary on the Brahma Sutras. And fine day, it was evening. In those days, there's no electricity, we all know that. And a lady brought the mud lamp and she kept on his table, writing table, so that he can continue his writing. He was engrossed in writing. The light suddenly, because it was getting dark and someone brought and kept a light on his table. He was very happy. He thanked her. Oh, my dear lady, thank you for bringing a light, for bringing a lamp to me. Immediately said, but my dear lady, you should have a basic decency. What is that? Before entering someone's house, you should ask, can I come in? Without asking me or without asking a permission, you have just entered, which is indecency. I think this is not acceptable. Immediately, she started crying. Vachaspati Mishra took aback and said, my dear, see, you helped me by giving a lamp. I have thanked, no doubt. But at the same time, you didn't follow the etiquettes. So, and I didn't scold you, just I told you, reminded you about the etiquettes or custom or what, decency. Why are you crying? She said, no, I'm not crying because you scolded me or whatever. Because you have forgotten to recognize me. Who am I? He stopped his writing. He had stopped more or less. He kept his pen down and he started saying, what? I've forgotten who are you? Who are you? Then Vachaspati Mishra's wife says that, oh, my dear, I am your wife. Wife? Suddenly he remembers. It was a rude shock for him. And he remembers, yes, few years before, I have married you. I had a marriage. So completely, he was so much obsessed with the knowledge, he had forgotten that even he had a marriage. And he was always busy in his studies. And she's a pious lady, very pious lady. And she was taking care of the family and taking care of the husband. As a result, he had forgotten about his marriage even. But he took aback and he felt very sorry about it. He felt guilty about it. And he apologized. And he said, whatever I have done, I have studied myself, I'm writing book and all fine. But as a faithful husband, a true husband, I have not done my duty. I'm sorry. But whatever I have done, I cannot undo it. So as a result, what I will be doing. So whatever the now the great work I am doing or I'm composing or writing, it will be named after you so that people may forget me, but people will not forget you. So Vachaspati Mishra's wife name was Bhamati. So he named the book after his wife Bhamati. And even today also, whoever studies deeply Advaita Vedanta, they study Bhamati, that is Vachaspati Mishra's work even today. So whether the people know about Vachaspati Mishra or not, but Advaita Vedantins, everyone knows about the Bhamati work. Now you see, he was completely obsessed with the knowledge and he was unaware of most of the surroundings even. So, as Sri Ramakrishna tells, that type of deep intensity, when we get it, definitely we can excel in any life, either in the music or in the research or in the any profession or in a spiritual life one can do. And this I have seen myself personally in with some senior monks where I joined. I started my monastic life in Bangalore, also Ramakrishna Math. That is the officially retired monks center. There are a few senior monks who were the disciples of the Swami Vrajanji, Shankaranandji, and all. One particular name I would like to name now is Swami Kirtidanandji. He had his graduation. He joined a Bangalore monastery, and he was with Swami Tyagishanji, who was a Brahmagnani, and the second is another Brahmagnani, Swami Yatishwaranji. And he was well versed in complete works, and his English was very top and all. And he was in his 70s, I think, probably 70s or nearing 80s. So when we joined out of inquisitiveness and out of foolishness, childishness, we used to ask so many questions. And sometimes we used to have hot discussions also about philosophy, about some things and all. And 1 or 2 hours we used to have discussions. Or even sometimes we have observed some devotees, volunteers, they used to come, they used to tell their problems, family problems, asking some consolation, seeking consolation, seeking counseling, all this. Now imagine 1 or 2 hours hearing family people's problems and their giving consolation, all these things, done fine. But once the devotee leaves, in no time, in 1 or 2 minutes, he used to open complete works. I used to open Bhagavatam. I used to open Sri Ramakrishna's life or a Gospel of Ramakrishna, and he used to read for hours together as if nothing happened. And when I observed, I used to feel so interesting and astonishing. 1 or 2 hours, he was gone talking, hearing problems, people problems, spoke everything. And after leaving, and he's retired, nothing to achieve in that sense. And he started reading without any distraction or without having any problem. When I asked, and he said he had read quite a few times complete works. Then when I asked, don't you feel boredom? He got so angry and he scolded me right and left. What? Do you think that reading complete works is a boredom because I have read few times? What nonsense it is. And such a beautiful things are there in complete works, he says. And he says, no. Why? Because his mind is trained. So as a result, when some devotee comes with some problem, he listened, and whatever consolation has to be given, he did as a service. And once they left, he tuned his mind from the physical level or the worldly level to the spiritual level. So they didn't had any complaint. He never had a complaint saying that, oh, controlling my mind is difficult. Oh, why these devotees come? They spoil my mind. I cannot read. I cannot meditate. They didn't had any problem. So these are all training the mind, training the mind. So if we can train the mind, the Vedanta will be of great help. Then since we have got untrained mind, then Vedanta will not be of helpful. Definitely it will be helpful. Why? Because when we hear the truth, at some point of time, at some days, at some moments, we'll be able to recall and we'll be able to train our mind, we'll be able to go in that footsteps. So that's the reason why we should study Vedanta, why we should think of Vedanta. And even doing that, why it is not, we are getting established because of untrained mind. That's where we can see the 6 disciples. 6 disciples, they came. The nature of the 6 disciples was Brahmaparaha, Brahmanishtaha. So they were well versed in Karma Yoga, selfless action, and they were well versed in Upasana, worship. So because of that, they had a purity of the mind, they had a concentration of the mind, they had a well established concentration. And this Brahmapara and Brahmanishta also presupposes, means they were well established in sadhana chatushte sampannata, or emotional maturity, emotional stability also they had, which is very, very important in the present days. And they approached how? With all reverence. Means it was not a casual approach. Oh, I hear there is a Vedanta center in Dublin, it seems. Their monks give some talks and discourses. Let me go. Let me go and let me hear. Let me see what they say. I mean, I'm not saying that it is wrong. It is a mistake. So people, out of inquisitiveness, some may come. People may say, okay, let me see what they say. Let me decide what to do and all. It was none of these things. But all the six disciples came with the definite questions, and it was a serious approach. It was not a casual approach. So how we should study the teachings of the great people and the teachings of Vedanta Upanishads is, it is not a casual approach. It should be serious approach. We should try to understand and we should try to put into practice, no doubt. Okay, they were already well established. They had a lot of tapas. They had did a disciplined life, not for a few days, few months, for few years, and they had well versed in Vedas and already established mind, trained mind, all. But in spite of that, the guru, the Pipila, says that, okay, for 1 year, you stay with me. And stay with me and do what? Taking rest or having a relax or holiday? No. You have to do tapas. Tapas is what? Control of the mind, control of the sense organs. And tapasa brahmacharyena shraddhaya. Tapasa with austerities. So controlling of the mind, controlling of sense organs, living a simple life. And brahmacharya, good thoughts, chastity, celibacy, all these things. Shraddhaya, with faith, with reverence, or with right attitude, they approached. Then the guru said, okay, you stay and do this for 1 year. Then you ask me what question you have got. If I know, I shall explain. Means, so guru is also so humble. He's not telling, he's not taken for granted, oh, I know anything and everything. You can ask anything and everything. No. Though he's a great person, no doubt, but still he's showing his humbleness. Now, interestingly, if you remember the six disciples, among them, the last disciple, the last disciple is asking the first question, and the first disciple will be asking the last question here, which is a simple, a small detail. Now let us go to the question. Atha kabandi katyayana upetya prapacha bhagavan kuto havai imaha prajaha prajayanta iti. As I told in the previous class itself, it is not in the poetry form, in the shloka form, it is in the prose form. Atha. After that, Kabandi, the descendant of Katya, having approached Pipila, asked, O Venerable Sir, from what indeed are all these beings born? So basically, the nature of creation has been asked as the first question by the Kabandi. So he was the last among the six people in the list in the first sloka, if you see, Kabandi. His name is Kabandi, and his another surname is Katyayana, because he is the descendant of Katya. His great, is the great grandson of Katya, basically. Anyhow. So Atha means what? Here, Atha means it is Mangalartya, which shows auspicious. Atha and Omkara both came at a time, it seems. That's why if you see in the Purusho Sukta, we say Ato Havai Purusho, Ata Purusho Havai Praja. Like it starts from Atha only. Atha means Mangala, it shows auspicious. But here, Atha shows means after 1 year of completion. Now for us here only 1 week or only one class, but there actually, so people had said 1 year you stay and do tapas. He did the tapas, and after completing 1 year, now Kabandi is asking the question, the first question for the Guru Pipila. Atha means after completing 1 year, Kabandi Katyayana, Kabandi, the son, the great grandson of Katya, Upetya Prayachya. Upetya means having approached. So he's going, he went near Guru and prapacha. Prapacha means he questioned, he asked this question. How? Bhagavan, Oh, venerable sir, here Bhagavan means it is not actually Lord. Here Bhagavan means the adorable one actually. Bhagavan means it is not the Lord, it is O adorable one, O worthy of worship. Why? Because you are able to clear our doubts. And you are a Brahmagnani, you are the knower of Brahman. That's why you are adorable. Because someone is adorable because he's a millionaire. Someone is adorable because he's a Nobel winner, Nobel Prize winner. Like people can have their own sense of adorable. So why if he is adorable Pipila? Because he is a knower of Brahman, and whatever the questions, spiritual doubts or Vedantic questions we have got, he is able to answer. Bhagavan, O adorable one, venerable sir, kutu havai imaha prajaha. All these beings we see, the beings, all these beings, from where it is being born. Kutaha, from where? Imaha prajaha, all these beings, prajayata, prajayanta iti. From where they have been originated, from where all these beings came into existence. This is my first question. Will you be able to answer? So how this universe got created and how this universe got created is what the question. Now, some of the people do get question. They should get, if they get, I will be happy. Swamiji, you are saying that the Brahman alone is real. Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya. The world is illusory, delusion, you say that. Then why do you speak of the world? And why the first question here, the Kabandi is asking how this origination of universe, origin of beings has been discussed here. People would have said, oh, Brahma Satya is the only, why are you wasting your time and wasting my time? He could have stopped this. He could have barred this question. Why did he encourage? And this 14 more slokas, more or less, 14 to 15 slokas will be discussing about this. Is it not a waste of time? Or why did they discuss? What is their intention? If you ask, the commentators tell very clearly to get the detachment from the world. Oh, that's a beautiful place, it sounds. For example, there's a joke, it happened really. A Vedantin and a young chap, both of them went to the seashore. Vedantin is a quite old or middle-aged or old age, and a Vedantin and a young chap, both of them went to a seashore. Both of them were sitting on the bank of the ocean sea, and the young chap, he was so with all inquisitiveness and enthusiasm. Oh, you see how beautiful the waves, how small, big, and the foam and all these things. He was he is expressing his emotions and astonishment and all. The Vedantin, poor Vedantin, he was sitting and he was giving a very blissful face, or a very smiling face he was just giving. The youngster, he saw. I think I should not have bought you. You Vedantin, because for you everything is only Brahman is real and all these things is appearance. I think you are not able to enjoy this such a scenic beauty. I think you are not able to enjoy, and I'm feeling little discouraged. Then the Vedantin felt a little embarrassed and he said, no, my dear, whatever you say, the scenic beauty is really good. It is nice. I'm also enjoying, no doubt. But the way you are enjoying, I'm not enjoying. Then the young chap asked, what do you mean by that? No, nothing. See, the ocean is got its own scenic beauty. Yes, I do accept, I do understand, I do appreciate it. But the thing is that you were saying small waves, big waves, and the foam, all these things you are expressing, all of them, is it real or what? I said, oh, my dear, again you started your Vedanta, you see. Then the Vedanta said, please, if you don't mind, will you answer me? Yes. You said, what are these, the waves and the ocean is two or one and the same? But unfortunately, at that spur of moment, he said, oh, come on, both are two different things. Otherwise, why they have got different names? Ocean and waves are two different things. Then the Vedantin gave a smile and a long breath and said, oh, my dear, please take some time, never mind. You think is the ocean and the waves are two different things are the same. Then he scratched his head. He took a pause. He gave a pause and he said, oh, I think no, because ocean and the waves are both are one and the same. Why? Because the content of the ocean and the content of the waves are nothing but the water. Okay? So the ocean and the waves are not the two things. There's only one thing. Fine. Then what about the difference between the foam and the waves? Yeah, I think more or less it is more or less water only. What about the small water and small waves and big waves? Yeah, water only. So there are two things, ocean and waves, and the only one thing. I think there's only one thing. There's only water actually. Sometimes it is called ocean, sometimes it is called wave. See, that's what so I am trying to see the ocean and the waves as a water, but you are getting obsessed with the name and form. That's what I think. And it was a great shock, or it was a great understanding for him. He said, yes, that is true. Now we start with ocean and waves are two different things in our materialistic life, in our day-to-day life. Slowly, there will be no two things. There is only one thing, that is the water alone. Then, but we accept ocean and waves has got, there is no independent existence. So all that name and form gets dissolved. Now, then why should this example has been given? Why this, what do you say, the inquiry had to be given by that Vedantin? You could have told straight away, only water is real, the ocean waves are only names, it is not real. But if I tell beginning, if the Vedantin, if would have told the reality at the beginning itself, the young chap would not have understood, would not have accepted, would not have appreciated also. That's why there's a systematic, slowly, step-by-step process he took, and he made to understand there's only water, my dear, ocean and the wave or any other name you give, foam or whatever. It is just a name, and it has got a different form. It is only different shape or color, but content is same. So to make us understand the Brahman alone is real, and the Brahman is been appearing as this world. And what is this world, so-called world? How much ever we say, because the world is so tangible for us, experienceable, then what is this world is made up of? If you ask, we say the world is made up of Panchabhutas. That's what the creation comes. The world is made up of Panchabhutas, 5 gross elements: space, water, earth, fire, and air. Akasha, Agni, Vayu, Apa, and Prithvi. Okay? And these 5 gross elements come from where? If you ask, these 5 gross elements come from Pancha Tanmatras, 5 subtle elements. Now, if you know the Vedantic theory of creation, care of Tattva Bodha, you'll be able to know I am going back actually. How the Vedantic theory of creation? So, Brahman plus Maya. Okay? The Brahman plus Maya. Brahman appears as this world, fine, with the help of its own power called Maya. In the Maya, there's a Trigunatmika Maya, that is Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna is there. Now from Sattva Guna, Jnanendriyas comes. Sattva Guna, Jnanendriyas comes. From Rajoguna, Karmendriyas comes. And the sum total of sattva gunas, the sum total of all the sattva gunas of the tanmatras, actually you get, I can tell that like from Maya, you get a pancha tanmatras, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, which is a subtle form of elements. Among them, sattvika form of this pancha tanmatras, shabda, you get akasha, or sorry, you get ear, and from the sparsha tanmatra, you get skin, tvak. Like that, 5 pancha tanmatras, the sattvika portion, you get pancha jnanendriyas. 5 sense organs of knowledge. And all these 5 sattvika portion of the tanmatras brings antakarana, that is mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Now, rajasika portion of the tanmatras, you get karmendriyas. And when each tanmatra, it will give each karmendriya, and all the pancha tanmatras of rajas combined together, it gives pancha pranas. Now, from tamasika portion of the tanmatra, you get panchabhutas. From panchabhutas, permutation combination is what the world. This is what our Vedantic theory of creation. Now, I am asking you to go back. Now, the Panchabhutas come from where? The world is made up of Panchabhutas. The Panchabhutas came from Panchatanmatras. Panchatanmatras came from Maya or Brahman. So, what is what? That's what only Brahman. Then, oh Swamiji, why did you explain all these things and made us complex? You could have told Brahman alone is real. All these things are appearance. If I say that initially, it will be difficult for you to understand. So, I take it for granted, yes, world exists, and how this world came from, or how world got formed, I will explain, and I will ask you to trace your steps back so that you will get your wrong understanding set forth. So to get a vairagya means to get a detachment from the world and its objects, or to remove the wrong perception, to remove the wrong notion, all these things has been told. Just like ocean and wave are 2 or 1, So the young chap made, the Vedantin made them to do that intellectual journey and made to understand the what alone is real and the other is just name and form. So similarly, the intellectual journey, Vedantic intellectual journey has been taken by Upanishads to make us understand Brahman alone is real, the world is not. So to make us understand, to get intellectual conviction and to remove the wrong cognition, all this process has been done that we have to understand. So entire first chapter is on the creation. And not only that, interestingly, there are different stages of creation has been explained. And while mentioning some different stages of creation, different type of sadhanas, spiritual practices or spiritual disciplines are also explained in this first chapter. And interestingly, we have got 10 Upanishads or major Upanishads. Isha, Kena, Kata, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Brihadaranya, Taittiriya, Aittiriya, Chandogya. Among them, Prashna Upanishad and Aittiriya Upanishad are considered as relaxable Upanishads. But when we go further, you don't agree. Swamiji, I don't think we agree with you, we feel. It is so technical, so complex, and so difficult to comprehend, we think. Why? Because according to the traditional commentators, here, it is not much we speak of Brahmagnana here. About the creation, about the karma, upasana we speak. That's why you can relax and you can read. They don't they are not undermining the role of Prashna Upanishad or the Aittariya Upanishad. They only feel that they got the Brahman and the moksha has been less discussed here, so you can relax and read. So Prashna Upanishad is actually a relaxable Upanishad. Anyhow. Now, so Vedanta concept of creation you have understood. Now we'll be going back. That also you have to understand. Tasmai sahovacha Prajakamaha vai prajapatihi satapotapyata satapastaptva sa mitunam utpadayate rayincha pranam chettayatau me bahuda prajaha karishyati iti. To him he said, to him means to Kabandi, people are said, as is well known, the Lord of all creatures, having become desirous of progeny, he deliberated on Vedic knowledge. Having brooded on that knowledge, he created a couple, food and prana, under the idea. These two will produce creatures for me in multifarious ways. Now, 4 or 5 slokas will be a bit technical. New terms I will be introducing it. So you have to hold on to it. And with bit concentration, you have to listen and you have to make some notes or mental imagination. You have to be clear now. Now, the nature of creation has been started explained by the Guru Pipilada. So, now you have to understand here, Tasmai Sahovacha, to him. To him means Tasmai, to him, to whom? To Kabandi, Saha, he means who? Pipila, Hovacha. He started explaining, he started answering the question. Prajakamaha, why Prajapati? Prajapati, who is called Prajapati? Chaturmukha Brahma. Now, the subtle difference you should always understand, Brahman and Brahma. When you say Brahman, it is a neutral gender, and Brahman means it is always the consciousness at all, without any attributes. Nirakara, Nirguna, Parabrahma or Brahman, that's what we have to understand. When we say Brahma, Brahma means it is a Ishvara or Chaturmukha Brahma from the mythological language, who is the god of creation, god creator, Chaturmukha Brahma. This Chaturmukha Brahma is what you see. Brahma or Chaturmukha Brahma is in the Puranas language we see, or Brahma or Hiranyagarbha or Prajapati is used in the Upanishads. Technically, we use more Hiranyagarbha or Prajapati. Hiranyagarbha or Prajapati means is the God creator or the Ishvara. What is Ishvara again? Sopadika Chaitanya, care of Vedanta Satra again. Means Saguna Nirakara Brahma, Ishvara. Anyhow. Now, this Prajapati, he has got the desire, it seems. What desire? Prajakamaha. He had a desire, this Prajapati, this Chaturmukha Brahma, he had a desire, Prajakama, to create multivarious beings, multi-beings. I have got a desire to eat chocolate. I've got a desire to get more money. I've got a desire to travel the world, or I've got a desire to have a toys. So many of us, we've got many desires, or some desire will be very strong desire, important desire. Now, this Prajapati, Brahma also had got a desire, it seems. What is that desire for him? Poor man, Prajakama, to create beings. And he had a desire, and we are suffering now. If we are not created, you would not have come into this life, you would not have suffered. No more accumulation of karma, no more of experiencing of papa and punya. So why did this Brahma think of creation at all? If you had not thought, you would not have no creation. No creation means no suffering at all. And no Ukraine war or any, whatever, say, Russia-Ukraine war or Israel war or whatever say. Now, and this Prajapati, the nature of Prajapati in the Upanishad, they say, Apta Kamaha, Atma Truptaha, Nitya Truptaha. He is Nitya Trupta, it seems. And but still he is Prajakama. How? He is eternally, blissful, and he doesn't need anything. He doesn't seek anything. But still he is Prajakama. Why? Because to help the beings. In the Sankhya Karika, which is called Nirishwara philosophy, which doesn't believe in the God, Sankhya philosophy, which is the oldest philosophy than Vedanta, in the beginning of the Sankhya Karika itself, they tell very clearly why this creation started, why Prakriti creates. Because Bhoga Apavargartam. Bhoga, to experience. Bhoga means here to experience the sorrow and happiness and papa and punya, and apavarga, to get release, to get freedom. The Prakriti creates the world for the Purusha sake. Here Purusha means for the Jivi sake. So same idea we have to think. Why Prajapati desired that let me do creation, let me create beings, because we have got, all of us, we are in a now subtle form. Now we have to take birth, and we have to, experience our fruits of action. The fruits of action is what? Good luck means what? Punya. Bad luck means what? Papa. So if I've done a good actions, then I've got a good luck. That means I will enjoy my life. I am very profitable in my profession, profitable in my life, and whatever I think I am able to do and I'm able to achieve. Why? Because my bank balance is good. Means I've got punya. Oh, my dear, so many obstacles, so many hurdles, so much pain, agony, sorrow. Why? Because I have got a deficit account. That is what? Papa, because of the sins, wrong actions I've committed in my previous life. So all these things has been stored. So now, because when we create, then all these beings come into existence and they start their journey. That's why to help the human being, to help the humankind, the Brahma thought, let me start creation. So we have to understand very clear. And here it is, the standard question will be, when did I start accumulating? Okay, this life means previous life, previous life, we can show that. But then when did I start it? If you ask, we tell very clearly, it is anadi, it is beginningless, we don't know. But it is anta, santa, it can be ended. Because if something is beginning and it can end, if no beginning, no end also, actually, if it is a logically. But interestingly here, the creation is, our karma is without beginning, but it can be ended. So it is anadi, but it is santa. It can be ended. How? By attending Vedanta class and by putting into practice. Okay. Sa tapotapyata. Sa tapaha, when you split, saha, he means here Prajapati, Brahma, tapaha, tapyat, atyapyata. He practiced meditation. Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma, he desired that he will create. He will start creation. He thought, he desired, and now he sat for meditation. He is meditating. Satapotapyata, saha Chaturmukha Brahma, tapaha atyapyata, is practicing meditation. Why is practicing meditation? Oh, because he is making a plan of the creation. For example, we need a house. When we go for the architect, when we say these are the things we require, then architect makes all the our likes and dislikes, necessities, and he thinks and he puts the plan blueprint first. Then it will be given to the engineer, construction engineers, and they go for construction. So now the Brahma in the meditation is making the blueprint of the creation. And that's the one thing they tell, and the commentators they tell, because he is trying to get the eternal Vedic knowledge. This Chaturmukha Brahma, according to the Upanishads, it is just an official post. It is not that like in the previous yuga, whoever the Brahma was there, in this yuga also, not same Brahma. Or in the next cycle again, there will be different Brahma. Now, for example, now I have taken a position. Say, for example, I went to a company and I have become a manager. So initially, there will be formative training period for me to understand the rules and there are standard rules, and there will become set of particular rules for that company, and he will try to understand who are the employees, who are the stakeholders, and what is their profit and what is their deficit, if at all, what is their account status, and employees and employers and whatnot. It takes some time for him to understand about any company or any work. So similarly, now Brahma, before creation, he is meditating and is trying to understand, he is trying to get the Vedic knowledge, which is eternal in nature, because he has to teach next, he has to help the people. So he is trying to gather the Vedic knowledge, and not only that, he is trying to gather the entire earlier creation knowledge, the knowledge of the entire earlier creation. How it was created, what about the beings, and what about their karma pala, fruits of actions, all these things he is trying to acquire the knowledge which about the previous creation and also the Veda. Or in the lamest language, if you want me to say, he is trying to visualize the creation in his meditation. So that means science, I mean, just like, oh, there was a bang, there was simply there was a bang sound and the creation started, Big Bang theory we speak, science. I'm not going to that whether it is right or wrong, only the Vedanta or our Vedas won't accept it. So the creation is not accidental. The creation is not all of a sudden it started. No, it was very methodical and it was very planful with a proper intentions. And in the Mundaka Upanishad, in 119, whoever has studied Mundaka Upanishad, yes, Sarvagna, Sarvavit, and all we speak, and parallelly how the ideas are going, we can think. In the 1.1.9, in the Mundaka Upanishad, same idea has been explained. Satapo tapyata, saha tapaha attapyata, satapastaptva, saha mitunam utpadyate. Saha, he, Chaturmukha Brahma Prajapati, tapaha taptva, after practicing tapas, here tapas means after practicing meditation, saha Prajapati mitunam utpadyate. Mitunam means, for example, there are 12 Rashis, 12 constellations. Among them, one is what? Mithuna Rashi. So Mithuna Rashi is symbol of Mithuna Rashi. If you see, there are two people, male and female are a pair basically. So Mithuna means here, it is pair. So Mithunam utpadyate. He created a pair. So after practicing meditation, now Lord Brahma, the Chaturmukha Brahma or Prajapati or Hiranyagarbha, he created a pair. Now what is that pair? This is a technical term. Rayincha pranam cha chet. Rayincha pranam chet. Yetau me. So he created pair. The pair name is what? One is Rayi. One is Rayi. The other is Prana. So he created a pair. The pair consists of two. One is Rayi, the other is Prana. He created Cha. Yetau me. From these two, Bahuda Prajaha Karishyati iti. From this pair, from these two, Bahuda Prajaha, many beings, different type of beings or many beings will be created. Now, this Rayi and Prana is what? It's a technical word. We have to understand carefully. Now, just I will give a simple terms. Just you keep this in mind. I will explain. Rayi means, or maybe I will take prana first. That's a better. Prana means fire, Agni. Okay. Then the sun, Aditya, and Bhokta or eater. Two things. Mithuna pair. You say prana and Rayi. Prana means here sun, fire, or Bhokta, that is eater. These three names you remember, I will try to explain. Now, Rai is the moon, the food, and the eaten. Rai means the moon, the food and the eaten. Now, what is this? Now, actually, if you see in the next few shlokas, 4 types of creation has been explained. I will tell this and I will stop so that I will go take next class all these technical explanations. Now, 4 types of creation has been explained in the successive shlokas. One is Mithuna Srushti. Mithuna Srushti means the creation of pair. What is that pair? Rayi and Prana, which we'll be discussing. And the other Srushti, other type of creation has been discussed here, that is Kala Srushti. Kalaha Srushtihi. That is creation of time. And it is very scientific and very logical if you connect the dots actually. Then the third Srushti is what? Anna Srushti. Annaha Srushtihi, Anna Srushtihi. Means the creation of food. The fourth is Praja Srushtihi, the creation of beings. Or Jiva Srushti also you can say, the creation of individual beings. Beings means all, I mean, anything, even animals, beasts, everything comes. So one is Mithuna Srushti, the creation of pair, Kala Srushti, the creation of time, Anna Srushti, the creation of food, Praja Srushti, that is the Jiva Srushti. Now, this is a unique explanation among all the 10 Upanishads or among other Upanishads, which is very technical and which is very interesting actually. Now, prana means, you should remember, prana means it is fire, Agni, Surya, sun, and the Bhokta, the eater. Rai means the moon, Chandrama, then food, Annam, and the eaten, Bhojya. I think keep this in the mind. Then I will be trying to explain what is at micro level and what is macro level and why they have used this, what is the significance of this Rai and Prana, which is very interesting. I will try to take this in the next class. Otherwise, it will be too heavy probably for a few of you. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Yeah, some of you might feel it is a bit technical. What is Vedanta? What is this Rai, Surya, Chandra, Agni and all? Yes, I can understand. Some of you might feel, but just hold on for some time, maybe like 1 or 2 class. Then once I start explaining all that, then you'll be able to connect the dot and you will understand how beautiful and how technical and how logical all these things and how they are deep, like a hairline thinking we say, and how much they have gone deep and how much they were able to think at a micro level and macro level, at individual level and at the cosmic level, how beautifully they were able to think our rishis because of the intuition or because of the dhi, you'll be able to understand and explain. Till then, probably you might have to hold on and with that inquisitiveness and with the patience also. Yeah.
Pranam Swamiji, I have a question.
Mm.
What is the role of Vishnu and Shiva in this? So, for example, this is the immediate question that comes into my mind. Okay, Brahma, you said Brahma is a placeholder, and for every cycle of every cycle, he's changing, right? But Vishnu and Shiva are as I think they are constants. They are the same, right? And if that is the case, what is the role of them? Are they telling Brahma to do something, or is Brahma, I thought I heard Swechaya, or he wanted to do it, so that is his role?
So now you have to make a difference here clearly. Now, whatever we say, Brahma is a Sushtikarta, Vishnu is a Palanakarta, Ishvara or Shiva is a Pralayakarta. The Brahma is the god of creation, and the Vishnu is the god of sustenance or the god of maintenance, and the Shiva is the god of the lord of dissolution. Whatever we say, this is the Puranic concept. Okay, so this has not been explicitly, as with my limited understanding, this has not been explicitly told in Vedas.
Okay. Okay.
It is based on Puranic concept. That you have to be very clear, first point. And second thing is the Vishnu and the Shiva is been always in the Vedas also, more or less, it is considered the Lord only. It is not the post. Vishnu and Shiva is not a post.
Okay.
Whereas the Brahma is a post. Okay. Now, after Puranic age, at the end of Puranic age or whatever, there are some reasons they tell, whatever. Now, the Brahma has been replaced by Shakti now, actually.
Okay.
Shakti means not the power I'm saying. Shakti means your Devi. Brahma is almost become obsolete, except is a creation and nothing much. Actually, we give importance in our day-to-day life in the Hinduism, basically. It is Vishnu, it is Shiva, and the third is what? The Devi. The Brahma has been replaced as a Devi in the present days, actually. If you see, that's quite a long time, few centuries, actually.
Okay.
Okay. And now, this Brahma, what is the concept of Brahma is very important. Now, that's what I used a curve. I mentioned that it is a post. That means if automatically the question can come to you, then can I also can become Brahma? If you ask, Vedas say yes. For that, you have to do sadhana, you have to do so much yagnas or so much tapas, etc. And there is for example, to become a minister or to become an IAS officer in Indian context. To that, you need some expertise. You have to do so many things. Then only you can become an IAS officer. Similarly, this is a post, Brahma post. If whoever has been eligible to whatever is prescribed, if you do that, then in your next life or the next cycle, you can become Brahma. Okay. Now, then why only Brahma has got this desire? Because Brahma, he desired that let me become, he take that post. When he take the post, he knows that that is his duty also. When you say that you would like to become an IAS officer, or for example, a health officer, when you desire for it, when you're struggling for it, and when you get it, more or less, if not completely, at least you will have a fair idea about what is your role, what is your responsibility, what you are supposed to do it. So similarly, in the case of Brahma also, more or less it has been told. Now, from the case of what is a Puranic language, if you ask, the Vishnu, from the Vishnu Nabi, the Brahma comes. Why, if you see, even today, even due to in the individual life, all our food and everything has been, how do we get when it's mother's womb? We all know that there will be a pipe like which has been connected with the mother's womb for us. Through that only we are getting all our food has been carried, which is very scientific even today, isn't it? The same idea has been given there also from Vishnu navel, a lotus forms, and there Brahma has been formed. And who is this Brahma? And why that Brahma is the protector of Vedas? Because he's the first creator. He's the first evolutor. He's the first evolution, you can say. Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is what? It is the samashti sukshma sharira. It is the sum total of all the sukshma shariras. The subtle bodies is what? Actually, Hiranyagarbha. That is what we are calling Brahma. Now, when I say Hiranyagarbha means Samashti Sukshma Sharira, when common people will not be able to explain, that's where they gave a symbolical representation. Okay, is the God of creator, God of creation. Because the Puranas came for the common people who don't have a time to study philosophy in deep, or who don't have a Sanskrit, a Vedic Sanskrit knowledge and the six Vedangas and all. For them, the same philosophy, Vedic philosophy, was told in a story form, actually, in a simplified form, actually. Yeah.
Swamiji, please continue.
Sorry, thank you. Pranam Maharaj, I have one query actually. There's also, as per the Shiva Puranas, there's also another way of creation. They say that Shiva, who's known as the consciousness, the supreme consciousness, and there's also Shakti, which is a material energy, and both of them together forms the entire universe and everything.
Yes,
Is there any connection?
See, there are different approaches, I can say.
Okay.
There are different approaches towards the truth. See, if you say it's all simple, like in the Vishnu Purana, Vishnu will become great. And in the Shiva Purana, Shiva will become great. And in the Devi Purana, Devi will be great. If you recently, I finished reading the condensed form of Devi Purana, Devi Bhagavatam. There I was reading, the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all they are adhinas of Devi, actually. They are always at the, what do you say, at the command, whatever Devi commands, they listen. And even Vishnu, some problems are unsolvable, they think. And Vishnu and Shiva also goes to the Devi, said, oh, my dear, we are not able to solve. Please solve.
Okay.
And when Devatas get into problem, Vishnu or Shiva tells, oh, because you have forgotten the who is the source of the creation, source of the energy. That is Devi, Parashakti, they use the word, Parashakti. You have forgotten Parashakti, that's why you are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, whether is it all one or the same, or whether is it any, what do you say, contradictory? No, they're not contradictory. The same truth has been called as Shiva, as a Shakti, or what do you say, or Vishnu, or any other names, for example. For example,
Okay.
if you see in the Adi Shankaracharya's one stotra, Ajam Nirvikalpam, Ajam Nirvikalpam Nirakaramekam Niranandam Advaita Purnam. It goes there, the fourth line of that Sanskrit hymn comes, Param Nirgunam Nirvishesham Niriham Parabrahma Rupam Ganesham Bhaja. So
Okay.
I will remember, I prostrate, my respects to Ganesha, who is in the form of Parabrahma.
Okay.
Now, the Adi Shankaracharya is giving the Parabrahma status for Ganapati or Ganesha. But if you see the Puranic concept, the Ganesha is the son of Shiva, all the stories are there. Now, the same God is been called in different names also. That's the one thing. First point. That is our fundamental philosophy you have to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is, there are different philosophical approaches. Different approaches are nothing but different philosophies. So every philosophy has been founded by or has been explored by some saints. Based on their understanding, they have got few premises, few philosophical points as a truths they use. That is the constant. To fit that points or to fit their truths, all other details has been curled out, has been pulled out, or has been filled out actually. For example, when you go to Kashmir Shaivism, which is a part of Advaita Vedanta, which is a type of Advaita Vedanta. There, the Kashmir Shaivism never accepts the world as a delusion like classical Advaita Vedanta.
Okay.
Because Shiva and Shakti, they comes, for example. So similarly, from the Tantra, for Bengal Tantra, Kashmir Tantra, there also they don't accept. Now then Advaita is right, then Kashmir Tantra, Shaivism is right, both are right. So there are different approaches towards the truth.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pranam Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji, I wanted to clarify here. Usually, I think it's said that Hiranyagarbha is the first entity that was created by Ishvara, right? And then after that, Hiranyagarbha created the entire universe. So here we are saying that the Brahma, this post, is Hiranyagarbha. So then we are accepting that there is a Ishvara, and then after that there is this Brahma.
No. So technically, now what I request all of you is keep the Puranic concept of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara aside and try to understand from the Upanishadic concept. The sum total of Karana Shariras is what Ishvara. Samashti Karana Rupa. Technically, if you want me to explain, Samashti Karana Rupa is what Ishvara. That means the sum total of individual causal bodies is what Ishvara. So the creation can only start from Ishvara. So that has been technically called in Vedanta Sara Sopadika Chaitanya. These are all synonyms. Sopadika Chaitanya, Samashti Karana Rupa, or Ishvara. All the three are synonyms. Okay. Now, Samashti Sukshma Rupa. The sum total of individual subtle bodies. Samashti Sukshma Sharira is what called Hiranyagarbha. And some places they also called Samashti, the cosmic mind also. Means the sum total of all individuals' mind is what? Cosmic mind. Cosmic mind is called Hiranyagarbha. But technically Upanishad, more or less, everywhere it says Samashti Sukshma Sharira is what Hiranyagarbha. The Hiranyagarbha is what? Brahma. That means, so keep the Purana concept aside if you say, then what happens? From subtle grass is coming actually. From subtle grass is coming. So first is Nirakara Nirguna, which is called Parabrahma, Brahman. From Brahman, with its own power of Maya, Sopadika Chaitanya came. The Sopadika Chaitanya is what? Saguna Nirakara. Saguna Nirakara Brahma, or so that is Samashti Karana Rupa. Karana Sharira is what? Ishvara. Now, Karana Sharira to, we are coming to Sukshma Sharira. So, Samashti Sukshma Sharira is what? Hiranyagarbha. So, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha. So, it is step by step, you are coming grosser actually. From subtle to grosser, we are coming. Then afterwards, Samashti Sthula Sharira also we tell afterwards. There's a different name.
Right, that makes sense. So it's just the unmanifest form and then the manifest form in that sense. So Ishvara and Hiranyagarbha, the difference in that sense is the causal state and then the more manifest
Subtle,
state.
yes, subtle state actually.
Yes, subtle state, yes.
After subtle state, it will come gross state.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, any other doubts, questions?
Yes, just one. So when the creation dissolves, then this karma and all these things, they just go back to kind of tanmatras and like wait for the next creation.
Yeah. So that's all. Yeah. So then care of Tattva class. I say, I mean, all these things I've discussed anyhow. It is a subtle concept, I understand. So it goes like this. Now, all the Stula Sharira. Now, the Stula Shariras are what? Grass bodies. Grass bodies of all the beings. Now, all of them are made up of what? They are all made up of Panchabhutas, 5 grass elements. So they all goes and merge into the 5 grass elements actually. Okay. Now, these 5 grass elements came from where? Panchatanmatras, subtle elements. They go and merge into Tanmatras. Okay. Then Panchatanmatras come from where? From Maya or Karana Sharira or Brahman, it goes back. This is from the Srushti point of view, from the creation point of view. Now, from the Jivi point of view, what happens? Now, when say a creation gets end, so everyone is died more or less. For discussion's sake, we'll say the whole world got demolished, or like there was a problem and the whole creation got dissolved. There's nothing actually. Means no living being exists. Then what happened to all these living beings? Now, this living being's body, whatever is there, it has been disintegrated and it has become the part and parcel of the 5 grass elements. This is the physical body. Then what happened to this subtle body? The subtle body goes and merges in the Hiranyagarbha. That's why we say Samashti Sukshma Sharira. So all our Sukshma Shariras are with the Hiranyagarbha. So in that Sukshma Hiranyagarbha, in that it's a collection of all the Sukshma Shariras. Even my Sukshma Sharira, your Sukshma Sharira, individual, everyone's Sukshma Sharira is there except Brahmajnanis. Then what happens? In that Sukshma Sharira, all my Papa and Punya, that is Karma Phala, is stored there. For example, there's a bank. Now, 25,000 customers are there of the bank.
No, I understand this part. So my question is, like after a dissolution, when you said that this Samashtigata Sukshma Shariras, like they go back, like so there is a relationship with one creation to the previous creation.
Yes, you are right. Yes. Yes. That's where we say the creation is what cyclic theory. I didn't want to go into that. It become too technical probably. That's what, though I had made a notes, I didn't tell. So we don't, there are different theories about the creation. Linear theory, cyclic theory, etc., etc. We believe in cyclic theory. They give a, like the standard example is given like a circle. You start drawing a circle. If I have to call it as a circle, it has to come and meet the starting point, isn't it? So similarly, that's where the theory of creation has been called a cyclic theory. Yes. So every creation presupposes the previous creation.
So, because when you say something merges, so then I understand that if something is merged, then the individual qualities are gone. Say, for example, a river merges in the sea, then it doesn't have the river properties anymore once
Yeah.
it is in the sea. But that's not the case for when things go back, like they are still kind of latent.
Now our account is maintained there. For example, like 20 people, we deposit cash deposits at different places for the Bank of Ireland. Yes, Bank of Ireland, 20 places we are even in the same bank. All of us, we are depositing our, what do you say, money. But everything goes and stays in one place, no doubt. Totally, the cashier goes and puts it, okay, this much transaction today happened or this much deposit happened. All of them is put together one place, but still he knows or we know that what is our account. So like that, though it is there, everyone still be samashti, karana sharira, sukshma sharira is there in the, at the dissolution goes and merge, but we will have our separate accounts there. In a
So,
separate form.
okay, okay, understood. So, in the worst case scenario, so it's for the jivas who are going to remain as Agyani. It's not only the cycle and cycle birth within one cycle of creation, but it will continue to the next creation as well. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Interestingly, one more point Sri Ramakrishna tells. I think Sri Ramakrishna tells, or one of the direct disciple tells, that this, now Sri Ramakrishna has come. After this, whenever the cycle ends, afterwards there will be a long gap. Then if you don't struggle and if you don't get mukti, then you have to wait for a long time.